Hi, hi, real back, Survivors with a Purpose. I'm your co-host Kiera,
I'm Monica.
and we are here with our special guest, Tamara McKnight, author and motivational speaker. Tamara McKnight.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
So, Tamara brought her book with her today, The Images of Me. It's a book of her life story. So I'll give her an opportunity to speak on it a little, and then we'll dialogue.
Yes, so The Images of Me is my biography, my testimony of surviving sexual abuse. I am no longer a victim because I finally spoke up and spoke out about it, and now I feel free. I don't feel trapped in this wall of pain where though I feel like I gotta suffer and keep it in and hold it in for so long. So I kept the secret over 15 years because it happened when I was 8 years old.
Oh wow.
I was molested by my grandmother's boyfriend, and we used to go over her house every weekend. And to not say anything was to keep me and my sisters, to keep going over her house every weekend, because I felt like, oh, if I say something, then she's not gonna let us, stay no more. She's gonna,
Be mad with you.
yeah, be mad with me or choose him over the grandkids. I'm like, oh no, I can't say nothing. I gotta stay. So it happened over a few times as, 8 and maybe a little bit older. As I was growing, I blocked it out. So as kids, we tend to put things in the back of our mind and forget all about it. So years will go, I'm in my 20s, I'm not thinking about it. I didn't even remember if it happened. But as I turned 30 is when all these memories came back. And I'm just like, woo, what is this? Like, this really happened. And I was like an emotional roller coaster to the point I was waking up, I was depressed, I was crying. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. And I couldn't watch certain TV shows. It was Law and Order. They always had rape and sexual.
Right.
Special.
Yes.
What is it? Special victims unit. Yeah, because I watched it.
I could not watch that at all. I would bust out crying. And it wasn't until I went to therapy and my therapist said, you gotta stay away from those shows until you find healing. And
So you didn't go to therapy until you got.
yeah, until I was 30 and I finally came out. I felt like God was telling me it's time. It's time for you to start your healing and it's time to help others. And that's where the book became about. My mentor told me I would write a book, Angela Wharton. Love you so much.
Hi, Angela.
She told me I would write a book, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna write no book. I didn't tell all my secrets, my pain. I'm like, But
Crazy.
God wouldn't let me not write it.
Okay.
I wrote that book.
So when did you tell your grandmother?
Oh well, she passed away, so she never
Oh,
knew.
so you never told
Yeah,
her.
she passed away, so she never knew. But
Where is he?
you know what? He's around. I seen him maybe.
Look at me. I'm sweating like, where is he?
Right,
we
He's around. I've seen him a couple times in the past when the feelings start coming out.
Okay, so that was before you started.
Right. And I seen him in the market. It was crazy. For some reason, I just didn't want him to touch me. I was like, oh, I froze.
For some
You
reason,
said, I was going to say,
This
for some reason,
This was
we get it.
before everything came out. Before all
Right.
the memories came out.
Oh, so you didn't remember? So you really didn't remember then?
Right. Before all the memories came out, I was just like, Lord, please don't let him touch me. Please don't let him touch me. But he didn't touch me. He hugged my sister. And he just said hello to me. And then he walked away.
Because he thinking back, you can see why
Right.
he didn't hug you.
So that was just like so traumatic right there within itself. And then right after that, things just start coming out slowly but surely.
My goodness.
So once they start coming out, after seeing him, how did you feel? Like, did you think back to yourself like, dang? So that's what it was.
Yes, woo, it was, yeah.
So subconsciously, it was still in there.
It was
you,
there.
You knew, but you kind of blocked it out.
Yeah, it's your chamber, I call it my chamber of thoughts.
Right, chamber of thoughts. Right.
And you lock away these chamber of thoughts and you push them to the back of your mind. And as kids, we
Suppress.
you can suppress those memories, but they will eventually come out. They don't stay hidden forever. They will stay hidden for a while, but they eventually come out.
Mm-hmm.
Now see, in my mind, when they started coming back, me, Pebbles,
So I thought he was leaving something.
Pebbles had brothers, 4 biological, but a whole bunch of other ones, because they always had friends coming to my mother's house.
Mhm.
Nah, they ain't even adopted. You won't ever hear that. They'll just call me their sister. You don't. I'm like, listen, I need you. See, that's Papa's stuff. See, Monica gonna pray for him because Papa's would have had him dealt with it.
Yeah.
Right.
So after all of those memories came back, did you even have any evil thoughts, or you just was like, I'm gonna pray for this man?
At first, yeah, evilness, of course, came out. I was, find them, you need to get locked up, and, and stuff like that.
Oh,
But,
he's gonna call him the Lord. See, I don't know about that.
Someone said thank you for sharing. It must, so
you're
clearly somebody
You're
must,
so
must
welcome.
know.
You're welcome. This is
about
what
that.
God called me to do, to help others. For me, I found healing, and it's not my purpose. My trials and tribulations is not about me.
Right.
It's meant to just help others. But what you were saying, oh yeah, I hated him for dear life, but the Jesus in me was like, just forgive him in order for me to heal.
Right. Absolutely.
My peace of mind was bigger than anything
Mhm.
because I didn't have no peace, none whatsoever. But I talk about different situations in this
Mhm.
book,
Yeah.
just growing up.
Right, so we don't want you to give it all to us.
Right.
Because we want them to purchase
Purchase
the
the
book.
book.
Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com. The images of me, you can get it on Amazon and BarnesandNobles.com.
Purchase the book.
I still have a couple more
Oh,
questions.
sure,
I still
ask
have a
away.
couple more questions. So with that happening to you, did that affect your sex life?
I think it made me not trust men.
Okay.
Till this day, I feel like I still struggle with trust, but I'm learning. I'm still learning. Every day is a learning process. I'm still learning, and I want to learn. Like, I want to learn, because you don't want to push people away. I sabotage relationships. I was angry, always had an attitude, stubborn. It was worse back then. So that was me. Sabotage, couldn't keep a healthy relationship. Who wants to be with the angry girl? Nobody.
Right.
Who wants to be with her? Nobody.
But somebody else is angry too.
Right. 2 angry people together ain't gonna work.
No, that's
That's a
toxic.
recipe for
That is
disaster.
toxic. That'll go back to one of the other shows we had about
Mhm.
abuse, okay?
And the forgiveness. We
Right.
talked about that.
Right, we did. See, and that's why I said Pebbles would have wanted to be physical.
Right.
But see, Monica just gonna pray for you because
So you
no
have
karma.
So you have someone on here, because we don't want to forget about the people here. So you have LaRonda, who said, definitely been there, prayers heal all things. And it's not easy. No, it's definitely not
Oh
easy.
no, it's not easy. It's an everyday, all day.
She said, to this day, I hate old men.
Yeah, I still get agitated with an old man, but I just kill him with kindness and sarcasm.
See, and I don't know. I can, well, for as long as I can remember, I was
Right.
I've never dealt with that, but I always be like, old men give you fleas. They give you worms, is what my mother say. No old man, like, don't do certain things. like, my father always said, like, you don't hug a man
You don't sit on
this
their lap.
way. Definitely not sit on a lap. And but you don't sit on their lap. My father, I don't think my children probably was small when he stopped holding my daughters on his lap.
Right.
Like, and that's just how he raised us.
Right.
Not that he's done anything, no, but that's just how he raised. I'm
That's
only
what
girl,
our children
so he was real protective of me.
Mhm.
So yeah, like some days it's a no go, And I always looked at old men like, ew.
Mhm.
And I to this day, and I don't know how old I really think I am because when a guy say something to me and he has like all this gray, and I'm like, you're like old enough to be my father, ew. No, I'm not interested.
Right.
Ew, no. But I can definitely understand that. But that's why I ask, like, do that affect you in your current relationships? Like, have you had any children?
Yes, I have a 12-year-old son.
It affects a little bit, but it ain't stop nothing.
It's not a show. Like goes on.
Right.
So are you, it's a girl,
Boy.
but you still gotta be protective of
Yeah.
your
Yes.
I always,
You know?
oh, you not staying at nobody else.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with the boys too, because unfortunately they get raped as well.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So
And it can be by either.
yeah,
Either
male or
sex,
female.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That's horrible.
Absolutely.
It's horrible. It's horrible to even, I don't know what makes, I don't know. It's just, I'm sorry. Like, what would you want with a child? It just makes me cringe, just altogether.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just the control, like I can control.
Just sick-minded
Mhm.
individuals.
Yeah.
So nasty, guys. We will take a moment. Feel like we're taking a moment of silence so that this man don't get alright. Y'all just say a prayer for him. We don't even need his name.
And I can honestly say, you know, because this being my best friend, I can honestly say that she's really a survivor of it. You know, she's not a person that just, oh, I'm just gonna say that I overcame. You know, she's really what she said what she said that she did. You know, and that's a blessing, especially with her sharing the book that she shared, because Lord knows it helped bring some things out with me. You know, because once I heard her start, you know, tell her story, it was like, wow, okay, you know. But yeah.
You feel like you can stuff to preach it. Come on, baby. Come on, bring it forth. Come on, it's coming. You taking your deep breath, bring it out. She always do that. And look at me encouraging her. Look at me encouraging her to bring it out.
Nah, you know, it's just that I am, for one, just glad that she actually spoke out. Didn't hold it in, because at the end of the day, you know, the enemy uses those things against us. When we hold things in, you know, things, whether it was something that secrets, period, whether it was something that somebody else did to you or something you did to somebody else, it's like he used those things against you, and he'll play those games in your mind, you know, and cause you to kind of just begin to destroy yourself, you know, with those thoughts. Because I know, like with me, like me not saying certain, you know, me not coming out saying certain things, you know, and it had me thinking, you know, like my mind was like, oh, you know, ain't nobody gonna want you, oh, you this or you that, you know, and
Yeah.
that's the devil's a liar. That's not true.
It make you not love yourself.
You know,
Like,
that's
you're
not true.
You know, you're worthy of, you know, growing up, you're not worthy of like love.
Being loved,
Yeah.
like genuinely, really being loved by somebody, you know, and even like to this day, like I think I still have issues with, you know, being around certain guys. Like I get that uncomfortable feeling, or I don't really want to hug you certain kinds of ways, or you know, or sometimes your mind will go, even if the person is really not trying to come on to you or whatever, your mind sometimes is like when you are alone with somebody, it's like you try to do any and everything to avoid that type of contact, you know, because it's like, I don't want you to think, or I don't want you to try, I don't want you to do, you know, so let's try to avoid all of that. Let's alleviate all of that. You know, but it's
Now,
not really a
did you
good
guys
reason.
see it? I haven't heard this in my house as growing up, but was it said in your house? Whatever happens in our house stays in the house.
No, I haven't heard that in my house.
Okay. I was just curious because I don't know what would make somebody like hold it or keep it, but when you explain like you wanted you to keep going to your grandmother's house, so you didn't say anything.
It's
But I know a lot of times people do say, what happens in our house stays in our house, don't tell nobody. And
Right, and people do
then they don't, if your child has been touched, they're not going to say nothing because you say what happens in our house stays
stays
in
in
our
our
house.
hearts, right?
And then you have the whole thing of being afraid. You know, some people don't understand where you get molested or you get raped, why some people don't speak out
They shut
until it
down.
happened to them.
They shut down.
You know, you hear so many people say, "Oh, why you hold it, in for that long? Or why she ain't tell nobody?" You don't know what that person is going through in that moment, so you can't be the judge of when they should say something because they're hurting inside, and maybe they don't want to be judged by other people, so they hold it for so long. And I was a child, so I held it in and I let it go, out of sight, out of mind.
Right, absolutely.
And then it came about, and it was for me to get here.
And that took you some time. I'm glad you're in your, I'm sure this book helped tremendously with your healing process. Because I always say, write it down. I used to tell my friend this all the time. Write it down. My son is bipolar. He goes through everything in the world. Write it down. Whatever you're going through, just write it down. One day you're going to be able to get it in a book. But damage and stuff, that's not going to work. So write it down.
Right.
Now, I want to look in the book that I told him to write it down in, but he told me when he grown, you do what you want to do, but you need to, I always encourage people to write. I know if I write a book, boy, it's going to be a thick one.
I was
You heard me say I got so many stories that people probably think I'm fabricating.
It's going to be a thick one.
I was definitely a writer growing up. I always had a journal that I wrote in.
See, I did too, but I'm not here. Like, I'm real transparent here. There's certain things I will discuss.
So then you can do
Yeah.
it then.
But some things that I probably should,
I'm gonna be honest with you, because like even Tamara, she said, pretty much after writing the book and then reading it, it was like going through it all over again. And it's like with
I
me
didn't
writing
read
stuff.
it after I wrote it.
Oh, that's right. You did say you didn't read
I
it.
did not. I wrote my book. I did not read
That's
it.
right. I forgot you
after.
said you didn't read it.
I
so you
read-
still have
So you
I
still
still
haven't read
have
it?
not read this book yet.
Why?
It was so emotional.
Writing
writing
it.
this
That's
book.
what it was.
One day I'm going to sit down and read it.
When did you write the book?
What came out 2016, August 2016.
But we 2 years later.
I still have not read it yet.
I get it though. I get it.
And it was so much pain that I let go. When I'm gonna have to relive it again.
Right.
Reading it, I can talk about it easily now without crying, but reading it, I think I can get through it. I think I'll be ready soon to read it again.
So pretty much you're
We're
gonna
gonna see you in 2 years, and maybe you'll read and write the book. 2 years.
Yep, I sent it to my publisher, and they did the editing. She sent it back to me. I skimmed through it and fixed everything she said fix, and that was it.
Let me tell you, my second page in, I was like,
Well,
I hated them. Like,
ma'am,
seriously.
Listen, y'all, all of these cameras. She weak like that anyway. She won't. Yes, you are very emotional. You surprised? Well, you probably proud of them little Facebook.
I'm
videos.
emotional. I'll be honest with y'all.
Oh, got it.
Once God got a hold of me, I just became this emotional creature. Like, I cry about everything, man. Like,
But crying is good.
I'm a compassionate person. When I see somebody hurting, I feel it. It hurts me.
So you have to cry in order to be compassionate.
Well, that's just how it hits me.
Okay.
I am me, and if it hits me that way,
I was gonna ask
then,
I didn't want you to amend your phone split
And we got a lot of questions over here, a lot of stuff being said over here. Let me see. So LaRonda said again, she said, I'm a very strong person because of my past. God knows I don't look like what I've been through. Praise God for that, LaRonda. Michelle says, very true about what you said, Tamara. And don't want it to cause problems in the family. Absolutely. And that's what she was saying, right?
I think once you stop worrying about what other people say, including family,
Yeah.
you'll find healing within yourself. It's about you and nobody else. If family feel like they want to, you got God.
So how did your family react when you released this book?
They were hurt. They wasn't mad. They were hurt, but they were hurt that it happened,
Right.
and they didn't know because I didn't tell them. So I didn't have the family where as though they turned their back.
Praise God.
But
Okay, good, that's good.
I don't know. I don't know if how would I would have reacted. I'm the type of person where I'd probably been like, I'm doing this for me, for other people, and for God first.
Mhm.
So if you turn your back on me, that's fine. You turn your back on God and His purpose. So I'm okay with that. Yep. So that's it. And basically, the process of just getting past your pain. I went to counseling. I sat down on the couch with the lady I didn't know. I felt weak because I was crying so much for the first, week. I couldn't get the story out, but it was okay.
Right.
Some people look at counseling like, oh no, I don't want to sit and talk with a stranger.
Discuss that.
But it's so good because she don't know you.
Right.
But she can help you. They'll make you see yourself and you'll be like, wow, that was me. I was doing that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay to go, talk with a counselor. Pray first. Pray morning, noon, night. I'm talking about every second if you got to. Pray. Prayer, counseling, you got to let go of pain in order to heal, in order to get the blessings that God has for you and to help others. I find joy in helping others. My motto is save one soul at a time. That's it. That's what I'm here for.
And that's what it's about.
That's
saving one soul at a time.
So that's basically the mission of Survivors with a Purpose, is to encourage and inspire someone. Like, see all she's been through, and she's still here. She was able to write a book about it. So that's really what we're about here. We're not about tearing people down. So like the earlier topic, you're not going to get us tearing anybody down. But that's what we're here for. Sharing stories that may encourage you to do better, or let you know you can still make it even after all you've been through. See, she said she had a child after this mess that happened. You have a successful relationship.
Yeah.
So get away from us. Maybe rub on us. Hold on, because we single over here. Rub off on us, okay?
That was a whole lot of prayer.
Woo. I'm praying, but I ain't praying for no man. When it's time, it's gonna be time.
Right.
Yes. Okay. I was gonna say Cardi B. Why do they keep doing that? Oh, that old curse stuff. She's 13. Y'all know how they do. Listen, I can't say it, and I'm not gonna try. Or she gonna talk about me when she see this, and I'm not doing that. So, we wanna thank you for coming on. We welcome you back in 2 years.
When she working on her second book, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be working on that.
Well, she can work on the second book, but I need her to read the first book.
Absolutely.
However, before we get off of here, tell them how they can find the book again.
The book is on Amazon and BarnesandNobles.com. If you want to reach out to me, I'm available on Facebook at Tamara McKnight and Instagram. The images of me or you, because my nonprofit.
It's me.
Okay, so
It's
the
me.
images of me. Next year, praying to God to launch my mentorship with my nonprofit, the images of you. So if you need me, you can inbox me. I'm not a judge. We can talk. I will cry with you and I will pray with you.
All right, so really quick, my following information. On Instagram, Monica WLS2. On Facebook, y'all remember that. On Facebook, I'm Monica Gaither. The radio show is Survivors with a Purpose. You can like us on Facebook. On Instagram, we are The SWAT Radio Show.
And on IG, you can reach me at k.phillips __25. And on Facebook, you can reach me at Kiara Phillips.
Well, that about that for this episode of Survivors with a Purpose. So, as always, we walk by faith, not by sight. Thank you, sir.